Whether you see something as a sign or not, I think really depends on your perspective and how you want to interpret things. And for me, I can't help but feel that there's been a lot of signs telling me to get back on here. One of which was a conversation I had last night at dinner where the person I was having dinner with was blatantly asking me, why haven't you posted anything on YouTube if that's what you want to do, if you want to get back on there? And I had a multitude of reasons and different rationales for it, but I also just owned the fact that I'm a perfectionist and I've been busy. And I was listening to a video from Struthless yesterday. Highly recommend his channel. I found him years ago because of artistic stuff, illustration and such, but he talks a lot more about lifestyle stuff now, and that's actually the direction I want to go with my channel. But his channel is very informative, very positive, and very unique. He's also bald as hell. I think his name's Cam. He's from New Zealand. Definitely check him out. But anyway, I was listening to a video from Struthless last night, and he talked about how he talks about it quite often, but like how we will build these mental barriers of kind of talking ourselves out of doing something or convincing ourselves why we're not ready. And, you know, it's easy to tell ourselves that we need to have, like, I've been away from YouTube for years. And my old videos, I talked about pop culture and comic stuff. And after such a hiatus, it's easy to think in your head, like, oh, I need to come back with something really big, especially when I had a few of my videos do quite well. And I need to move away from that line of thinking and really just get back. So here's the signs, right? Number one, I have things to talk about. I have things to share. Really exciting things to share. Like this. I wrote and illustrated and published a comic book. And I am deep into the process of illustrating. I've already written it, but I'm deep into the process of illustrating book 2. And I will say right now, here, I'll put it up here. I will say right now that book 2, the illustration is, I am leveling up my art game as I go, and it's really exciting. It's really fascinating to see as well. I also have variant covers, such as this one that I can't really show you. Here, I'll show you a glimpse of the backside really quick. Literally. These are done by Wave Loop, Ricardo Rodriguez. I've got stacks and stacks and stacks of these. But yeah, so not only do I have things to share, very exciting things to share, I work for an entrepreneur and I do various things. Under the umbrella of being the executive assistant of this entrepreneur, I have been the general manager of a pizza and wine shop. Kind of random, but yesterday I got a call from one of the founders of this company, and long story short, he was like, hey, I'm terminating the contract with your employer. And, you know, my employer and I are kind of figuring out what the next moves are, and it's a whole cluster of it's not controlled chaos. I'm controlled chaos. This is just chaos. But yeah, so I'm like waiting to figure out what the hell I'm doing today, professionally speaking. But this is a sign. This is an opportunity. Like, hey, man, record a fucking video and put it online. You know, and last night at dinner, I have videos. I've taken videos, and I have notes of things I'd like to talk about. And again, you know, my date asked me, she was like, when are you going to do it? I was like, maybe tomorrow. Like, tomorrow sounds good. So, yeah, why don't we do that? I'm sipping my pre-workout, and I feel like a lot of my videos will probably be sipping pre-workout because I feel like that's a time when I am engaged mentally without being too exhausted. But anyway, another thing, I open up YouTube and there's a video on here by Scotty Young, and it was posted 1 day ago, and it says, how do you build an audience in comics? Ain't No Grave came out last year, this year, whatever. It's pretty new, but I love the story. Great book. It was written by Scotty Young, and then Yeah, and then illustrated by somebody else, Jorge Corona. I don't know how to pronounce it actually, but they do a lot of work together. I love the book. I love the art. They also did one of my favorite books actually, which is kind of random, but it's called The Me You Love in the Dark, and it's just beautiful and dark and twisted, and I can relate to it more than I want to. Actually, the beautiful development of this relationship that you know all along is toxic, and then whatever. Anyway, so right, I have this random downtime because I'm thrown this curveball of like, don't know what's next. Like, I know you were working on that thing and it was going well, but surprise. And then I get this video from Scotty Young, and I've seen his stuff on here a little bit recently, you know, and then I have this conversation last night. Why aren't you doing it? And I'm giving some rationale. Nothing strong enough to justify the fact that I can't just fucking post a video. So yeah, I'm back. I had other videos and other plans on coming back to YouTube, and again, I overthink it and I sell myself on the idea of waiting and, like, I don't know, trying to make some perfect thing before I come back. This like grand new, like this grand reopening, if it was like a store that was reinventing itself or a restaurant or something like that. This channel will be different than it was before. I'm still going to talk about comics. I'm still going to talk about stuff like that, but I'm going to talk about lifestyle stuff. I'm going to talk about writing and creativity. I'm going to talk about positivity and finding positive outlets for things in life, focusing on the positive, trying to train ourselves to move away from fixation on the negative. There's a quote, and this will be for another video, a more scripted video, but there's a quote from Theodore Roosevelt, and it's talking about the man in the arena. And it hit harder recently than I've ever really given any, mind to. And it just talks about how it's the man in the arena doing the work, marred by blood and sweat and tears and whatever, or dirt or something like that. Anyway, and like, it doesn't fucking matter what the person up in the stands is saying, critiquing him, and I don't want to be the person up in the stands. I don't want to sit back and nitpick other dumb things going on in the comic world. There's enough channels that do that, and they care about it, and no disrespect to them. I just don't want to be one of those channels. I'd rather have something positive to put out there, or I don't know. I want this channel to be multiple things. I want it to be a place of inspiration and motivation for people. I want it to be a place of learning. I want it to be a place of reflection. And I also would, I need to sell books. I would like to sell books. I'm very proud of this. This is something that I said on YouTube years ago when I did reviews of Nubia Real One. I was like, I'm going to write my own book. And I have a whole video idea for that specific book, and believe it or not, how it changed my life. But here, I'll put the front and back cover of my book up here so you can take a look and read the synopsis on the back. I did a Kickstarter that wrapped up in January, and I'll be honest, I've been struggling with some financial stuff in getting my books all shipped out. Yes, that is part of the Kickstarter pledge. However, to move into this very humble little abode, it cost me my entire cushion. It cost me about $7,000, and that's a longer story. But apparently they don't like it if you're self-employed. But anyway, I'm very proud of my book, and it was 170% funded, made about $4,000, and that covered the cost of printing. So I have hundreds of books now, and I'm probably going to be building an Etsy store or something to put these in your hands. I'm also going to use them when the time comes, hopefully very soon, to launch the next Kickstarter. These will be add-ons. But to celebrate kind of being back, to encourage some traffic and get some people here, I'm going to give away, what do we think here? How's this? I'll give away one book. I will give you the standard issue of No Time for Heroes, which is a 24-page story. This is issue 1. I'll give you the book, written and illustrated by myself. And this is, like, it is professionally, I gotta be careful what pages I even show you, but it's professionally printed. I will give you the book. I'll cover the shipping. I'll do one book for every 50 comments. So comment and tag people and share this, please. I'll give away, I'm looking at the wrong thing now, great. I'll give away one book for every 50 comments. And listen, if we can break, I don't know, just for the hell of it, if I'm surprised and we get a nice influx of comments and engagement, I will also give away, I'm going to strategically pick it up here, but I'll give away one of the Not Safe for Work Wave Loop variants, which is a double-sided cover of the same image, which is his stylized version of the top corner here. I have posters of that as well. Those are going to be on the Etsy store. But yeah, comment, share, please. Let's talk. Let's start a dialogue. That's my favorite thing about this channel, is when I would post things before. Holy shit, we had some amazing conversations. So let's get that going again. The channel's going to be different, but the channel's going to be stronger than ever. And I'm excited to really continue building this community. So let's do that. Thank you. And I will see you soon. I'll be back.